Hello, it's your girl Shane Loves 89, and we're back with another snarled video called The House of Doon. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started.
Back to the show.
Hey, I'm Sapphire.
Want to hear something scary? House of Doon. The following is a story that Brooke's grandfather told her to warn her to never go near the House of Doon. When I was around...
I mean, just from you telling me that, I probably wouldn't go myself, but okay.
Around 17 years old, I had a friend named Fraser. He was a bit of a daredevil, always taking risks and doing stupid stunts.
An idiot.
He had no regard for his own safety. One night, me, Fraser, and our friend Ashley were hanging out, and Fraser mentioned the House of Doon, a house that was about a half-mile from the outskirts of the village. Generally, our town wasn't that superstitious, but there was something about that place that scared all the locals. So, obviously, we all fell silent and then tried to steer clear of the subject. But this really annoyed Fraser. "I wish people would stop acting like the house is so dangerous," he said. The thing was, none of us had actually ever gone near the house. Everything we knew about it was from the stories our parents told us. We didn't know why we had to avoid it. We just knew that we should.
Look at the house. Does that scream inviting to you? Does that scream, oh, let's come in and look at the house? No, that looks like it's been abandoned. It looks like some people's been in it, and it looks like you don't need to go in it. So you couldn't pay me money. You couldn't convince me anything to go in that house because it don't look safe. Two, it looks creepy. And three, no. Okay? So if you want to go in there and you be your stupid idiot self to go in there, you do that, okay? You do that. No. No, ma'am. No, sir. Not her. That's like saying, oh, let's go to the Amityville house. Hell no. That house looks like it has a face. And it don't look pleasant. So why the fuck would I go in there? Okay, now.
Should. And Fraser wasn't the type of guy to follow the rules. Let's put an end to this stupid superstition and spend the night there, together.
You
right
spend
now.
the night by yourself.
Me and Ashley shared a worried glance, but Fraser was very insistent. So, without any real intention of spending the night, we decided to follow Fraser to the house. We thought we could maybe talk him out of it. So we pull up to the garden of the house, packed with our sleeping bags and flashlights. The garden was completely overgrown. Plants were wrapping around the gate, the tarmac, and the house. The windows were shattered. The house was giving off an energy that, to this day, I still can't describe accurately. Sitting in that car, looking up at the bleak, desolate building, it was enough to make me come to my senses. We decided that this was a really bad idea and we should head home.
Small person.
All of us except Fraser. "You're really going to let fear control your lives?" he taunted us. "Everyone is afraid of this house and doesn't even know why.
I don't care.
Don't you want to prove everyone wrong?"
Nope.
After about a half hour of arguing, Fraser realized he wasn't going to convince us and let us spend the night in the car, while he spent the night in the house alone. Before he went inside, he told us that he planned on staying in the attic. Every 15 minutes or so, he would bang on the attic wall facing the front yard to give us a sign that he was still okay. Then, at 8 a.m., he would return to the car. We wished him luck and watched as he confidently strutted into the house. We waited. About 5 minutes went by until we heard a thud coming from the attic. We saw the faint silhouette of an arm waving at us in the window. Relieved to know that he was still okay, me and Ashley got comfy in the car. But there was no way we were going to fall asleep. And just like Fraser promised, every 15 minutes or so...
I got a question. How would y'all know if that was Fraser waving? Y'all didn't see a face. Y'all just saw his hand. It could have been. Truly, it could have been. And I'm saying, I'm good. But y'all didn't see a silhouette of his own body. Y'all just saw a hand waving. That's all.
So we'd hear the reassuring thud. It was now about 1 a.m. Me and Ashley were finally comfortable enough to slowly fall asleep. I wasn't sure how long I had been knocked out, but I woke up to the same thud sound, only it was a little bit faster. No longer every 15 minutes, but more like every 5 seconds. I wasn't sure why Fraser was pounding more frequently now, but as long as he was okay, it didn't really matter.
That man ain't okay. He said every 15 minutes. If it's every 5 minutes or almost every 5 seconds, that man ain't okay. Y'all should have went in the house to go check on him. But y'all thought he was just okay.
I fell back asleep. I didn't wake up until the morning sun shone on my face. Ashley had also just woken up. It was past 8 a.m. in the morning, but Fraser hadn't come back to the car yet.
I wonder why.
Fraser was still pounding on the attic wall. We figured he was just showing off now, trying to prove to us that he could stay even longer in the house. But we really wanted to head back home now, and we weren't just gonna wait for Fraser to be ready to come down. "Hey, Fraser!" I shouted up at the attic. "You proved your point. It's time to go home now." Ashley and I had no choice but to go get him ourselves. Although the house was still fairly creepy in the morning, we felt a little braver, knowing that Fraser made it through the night. So we entered the house. There were footprints in the dusty floor that showed us Fraser's path. We followed it up the deteriorating staircase and to the attic.
Just to let y'all know, I'm already getting that feeling that something's not right, as I usually do when I hear some of her stories. Just to let y'all know.
The thuds getting louder and louder as we got closer and closer. We opened the door. There was Fraser, hanging from the ceiling, his body swinging back and forth, and every 5 seconds, slamming into the wall.
Now, like I said, he said every 15 minutes, and all of a sudden he's banging on the wall every 5 seconds. Something wasn't right. Something happened to that man, and you should have went to go check on him when you noticed the banging was more rapid than anything. But I digress. Y'all thought he was okay. That's fine. But like I said, every 5 seconds, something wasn't right. I already had that feeling that something wasn't right. Now, question is, how'd he get home? I'm sure he wouldn't have killed himself. So how did he get up on the ceiling? Who was in the house? How'd he get home? Y'all let me know in the comments how that happened. Give the video a like, check Snarled out, and also check me out. And check me out on Twitch. I will see you guys later.
This sound like what? 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 This